All right, guys. Hello. It is 8 o'clock Monday night, and it's time for another live for Hustling to Director. Guys, this is week 8. Week 8 out of 9. You've made it 8 weeks. Literally, you've made it 8 weeks. That's a huge accomplishment. Not a lot of people have made it 8 weeks. So if you're watching this and you're still in the group and you're still here for week 8, you should be proud of yourself because that's awesome. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, because I'm going to end up probably putting this on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to be like, what do you mean week 8? Don't worry about it. So, hi guys. If you're watching now, say hey. If you're watching the replay, comment replay. So if you're watching now, I'll know you're watching. But if you're watching the replay, comment replay. If you're watching on YouTube, hi. You don't have to say or do anything. You can like my video. Anyways, so hi guys. We're going to talk about sponsoring. Week 8, we saved a few of the juicy ones for the last 3. So week 8, sponsoring. Let's do it, you guys. Sponsoring is important. I love talking about sponsoring. So I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. Hello, everybody. I'm excited to talk about sponsoring. Kind of maybe take some of the complicatedness out of it for you guys. Maybe take some of the fear out of it for you guys. And make sponsoring fun again. We have to make sponsoring fun. What happened to sponsoring? It's so scary. So let's talk about it, you guys. There's a quote I wanted to start with that I really like, that I use often. And it's, and I think it's actually in the very top of our, it's on our cover photo of Fragrance Fanatics in the group, Fragrance Fanatics, our group on Facebook. It's in the cover. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I just really like that quote. It just, you can do a lot by yourself, quickly, but how long is that going to last? What difference did it make if you just changed your own life? So I just kind of like that. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Just keep that in your mind, in the back of your mind. All right. So you guys hear us talk about the legs of success for Scentsy. I don't know why I did this. I think it's just because it's not an official Scentsy thing, but we say there's 3 legs to success. That's sponsoring, PRV, sponsoring, and coaching calls. So sponsoring is one of the legs of success. You have to sponsor to be successful at this. You have to. So if that scares you, stop letting it scare you, for 1. It's not scary. But for 2, just make sure you remember that to be successful at this business, you have to sponsor, because if you don't sponsor, you'll never get past certified. You have to sponsor to get to lead or above, right? So if you want to be successful at this and do anything more than make just 25% commission, then you're going to have to sponsor, okay? You can't grow without it. Let's see, recruiting. So recruiting not only is a leg to success to this business, so you have to do it to be successful at what we do. Direct sales requires sponsoring. But I heard someone once say that sponsoring is the answer to all of the problems in your business that you're having. And when I heard that, I was like, what? And I thought about it because I paused the video. I think I was watching Jennifer Anderson, and I paused it and I was like, recruiting is the answer to all of the problems that you're having in this business. So I started thinking about, what are some of the problems that people have in this business? How can recruiting help that? So listen, have you guys felt this before, that your team's not motivated? You can't get them to do anything. You can't get them to do or want to do anything. Well, newsflash, you're never going to be able to get them to do anything they don't want to do. So just stop. Okay, we can't motivate people to do things. Okay, they're going to either do it or they're not. That's their why. You can't control that. All you can do is show up as a leader. But if you're like, my team's not motivated, recruit. Because recruiting is going to show old team members why they start this in the first place. It's going to give them reasons oh my gosh, she reminds me so much of me when I first started. That's why I first started doing this. Or new recruits that try and show up and light fire underneath of you, they're going to show your team, 1, why they first started to do this. It might give them a little bit of nostalgia of why they first started this. It's going to show your other recruits oh, my sponsor's not the problem. She's showing up. It's me that's not showing up. people like to point the finger at other people and say, like, well, my sponsor's just not being there for me like she used to in the beginning. Well, no, she's there for you. She's still sponsoring other people. He or she is still sponsoring other people, and they're still doing well. You just haven't showed up. So it forces people to look at themselves and say, am I showing up for my business? It forces other teammates to go, I can do that too. Like, we can all do this. I used to do the same thing. Let me just pick back up where I started. And I've seen so many people do that before, you guys. So many recruits that, sorry, I get really thirsty when I talk. So many recruits that like lay idle for a while, and then they see me get a new recruit that's maybe like banging, doing good, on fire, and they go, I did that. I can still do that. I need to get back in this. I used to be able to do that. I can still do this. And I've had recruits do that before. So if you say, I wish I made bigger paychecks, recruit, obviously. You can make bigger paychecks if you recruit, because if you recruit, then you promote, right? I wish I could get more sales. Now, I was like, wait, hold up. How can I wish I could get more sales? How does recruiting help that? Because, you guys, when we recruiting people gives us a whole different brain to be around. You only have so many ideas and so many ways to get PRV. You only have so much going on up here, and it's your version. But the more people you bring with you to do this with, the more ideas you get, the more inspiration you get. I get so much inspiration from people on my team. I get so much inspiration from my leaders. I get so much inspiration from my frontline. And when you recruit, you can get more sales because it gives you inspiration. It gives you ideas. It gives you motivation. It makes you feel grateful, which makes you work harder. I'm telling you, recruiting can solve any problem that you're having in this business. It can. And I had to ponder on that, but it can. And like I said in the beginning, you guys, sponsoring doesn't have to be hard. We make it so complicating. It doesn't have to be hard. You just have to make sure you're having sponsoring conversations. That's what I like to ask people all the time. When they say they can't get sales, I'm like, okay, are you partying? No. Oh. And if they say, I can't get recruits, I'm like, are you asking people? They're like, no. I'm like, well, there's why you're not getting recruits. You have to ask people. I mean, people aren't just going to flock to you. Sometimes recruits will come to you. Sometimes. But most of the time, you're going to be asking those people. If not asking them, hinting to them or dropping in their ear like an idea of maybe being in the Scentsy family. But sponsoring doesn't have to be hard. We just have to ask ourselves if we're actually having those sponsoring conversations. Like, you can't be upset at yourself for not getting recruits that month if you didn't ask anybody. So I'm like, why are you upset? They're like, I didn't get a recruit. Well, did you ask anybody? No. Well, then why are you upset? You didn't even try to recruit anybody. Don't be upset. Just try. So who do we ask to recruit? And I know this is like back to the basic things, but it never changes. Who are we going to ask? Well, for one, you always ask your hosts. If they have a qualifying party and they did well and, their customers showed up and it went fine, always ask your host. Always ask your host, hey, you're really good at this. You just got me this many sales, and it was all your friends and family. Like, do you want to start this? And this could be your Scentsy business, and this could be your launch party. Like, that's such an easy conversation to have. If they're doing well and have a good party, that's such an easy conversation. Like, hey, you're good at this. You want to try this with me? Like, you could do this with me. We can get you a kit with the host rewards. Like, such an easy conversation to start. Are they spending $100 or more on Scentsy a month? If they're spending $100 or more on Scentsy a month, you better ask them to join. You better ask them to join. Because why not? That's what I tell people all the time. If they're spending that much on Scentsy, I'd be like, hey, and this is such an easy conversation to have with somebody. Be like, hey, why are you making me so much money when you could be buying Scentsy like you normally do and making yourself money? How easy is that to say to somebody? That's not selfish. That's not cringy. If they're a customer ordering $100 or more a month, that's not cringy. Even $50 a month. Like, hey, why are you making me so much money? Like, why are you making me any money at all? You always order Scentsy. You might as well make yourself your own money. You can make commissions off your own orders. That's an easy conversation to have. Do they give you referrals often? So do they have like are all their friends ordering from you? Or is their whole office job ordering from you? Is their whole like family ordering from you? What are they always giving you referrals? If they are, be like, hey, why are you doing my job and not getting paid? Do you want to do this? Like, all these people that you're giving to me could just buy from you and you could make the money. Sound a little bit better? Then you just kind of, I mean, I appreciate you, but do you want to make the money? Like, it's not a hard conversation. It's such an easy conversation to start. Just remember and always ask yourself, how can Scentsy help them, not you? So just remember that. Like, when you're asking somebody if they would like to be in the Scentsy family, make sure it's coming out of intentions from your heart that you genuinely want Scentsy to be able to help them. However this world works, whatever ties us all together knows when your intentions aren't true. And honestly, as humans, we are authenticity readers. I like to say that. Like, we can read authenticity like that. Most of us can, by the way. Or most of us can, honestly. I think that's what I was trying to say. Most of us can read authenticity. So when it comes off inauthentic, even when you're trying to make it authentic, we can read it. We know. So just make sure you are asking pure out of your heart on how Scentsy could help them if they join, and not how it could help you if they join. It's not about you. Recruiting, like I said, doesn't have to be scary. We like to say in the Scentsy world, it's offering dessert. You know, when you go out to eat at a restaurant and a waitress comes up to you after you're done eating and picks up your plates, when she says, would you guys like dessert? Would you guys like to look at a dessert menu tonight? You're not going to get offended at her. Sometimes you say yes. Sometimes you might feel saucy that night. Maybe you had like 2 glasses of wine at dinner. You're like, you know what? I will see that dessert menu. Thank you very much. Like, that girl, the waitress, asks every single table if they want dessert. She doesn't know who's going to say yes, and she doesn't know who's going to say no, but she does always ask. And sometimes, eventually, every night, probably at least once a night, there's that girl that had 2 glasses of wine that was like, I'll take that dessert menu. So guess what? As long as you're offering dessert, someone's going to take the menu and order dessert. But that goes back to what I said before I started talking about like who to ask, is, are you asking? So the waitress is not going to sell dessert if she's not asking them if they want a dessert menu. If she just picks up their plates and then takes their check to them and says, here you go, they're never going to order dessert. Why would they? They'll just go to Baskin Robbins next door and order dessert. See what I'm saying, guys? If you don't ask them, someone else will. Okay? But just, yeah, don't make it too complicated. Remember, recruiting is not about you. It's not about how it can grow your team or promote you or get you more numbers. And if your heart's like that, the world knows. Whatever runs this whole shindig that we got going on, it knows, okay? Let's see. And just remember, if they say no, it's not no forever. So say you go to the same restaurant every month and the waitress asks you guys every time you come back if you want a dessert menu. Maybe the first 2 times y'all went out to it, you said no, but that 3rd time you went, you said yes. So just remember, it's not no forever, it's no for now. And they're not saying no to you. They're not saying, no, I hate you, bye. They're just saying, no, it's not really meant for me. But they're still going to be your customer or order from you or, you know, support you, whatever. Also, remember, as a director, to get to director and to stay a director, we have to be consistent in recruiting. Consistently recruiting. That doesn't mean you recruit 2 people 1 month and then don't recruit for 6 months. It's not going to keep you sustainable. You have to recruit consistently. Now, do I say that you need to put specific recruiting requirements on yourself every month? No, I think that that's a little harsh, because 1 month you might get 5 recruits and the next month you might get none because you're taking care of the 5 you got last month. So I'm not the kind of person that's like, you have to get 2 recruits a month, because yeah, you want to get probably 2 recruits or more a month, but what if you got 5 recruits a month? Why would you limit yourself to 2? Just recruit consistently. I think that's just the key, is to just recruit consistently. Because people come and go. You're always going to be constantly digging to find a gem. People come and go in this business. I don't know if anybody's ever told you guys this, but like, okay, say you recruit 10 people, okay? Okay, you're gonna have one rock star, okay? 5 hobbyists, sorry, that's a blister. 5 hobbyists, and these 4 will fall off. That's statistics. So if you're recruiting constantly, you're gonna always find those gems, but you have to weed through the other people to be able to find those gems. And that's just how it goes. So if you're not consistently recruiting, you're not going to consistently be growing your leaders. You're not going to consistently be hitting numbers like you want to, because you can't make people want to do this, and not everybody's going to stick around. And that's just how it is. But thank God you're motivated and inspired and driven enough to stick around, right? Thank God you're top 3% of this, trying to shoot for top 3% of this company, and you want to stick around for a while, you know? And like I was saying about authenticity readers, attract people into your circle authentically. So we just talked about circles last week and how you want, you know, to build your own tribe and your own circle, but make sure you're attracting, you know, recruits the way that you want to. I don't post very political things on social media. I don't post negative things on social media. I don't really give into like the negativities a lot of social media, and that's for a reason. I attract the tribe I want, right? So if I am saying certain things that are like positive things, or things that are just healthy for you, or whatever the case might be, self-help, growth, whatever. If someone's agreeing with me on that and, you know, supports that along with me, that can help me figure out too if I might want that person in my circle of my team, in my group, because we have to remember that we can choose who we want on our team. We don't have, if there's a girl that you see on social media and she's always being negative and she's rude and you're like, oh my gosh, she's a lot to handle, or whatever it might be the case, and she's not a nice person, you can genuinely tell that she's just not somebody you want around you. If you post in your story that you have a $59 join kit and she says, I want it, you don't have to give it to her. You know that, right? We can pick who's in our circle. So make sure that we attract the people that we want, because that's your team. And it is so amazing to be able to have pride in the team that you lead, in the group that you lead. It's literally amazing to be able to have pride in that. So just remember that you attract the people that are going to come around you. So remember who you're attracting, and then remember that you don't have to have everybody come in your circle. You can pick and choose who you want your circle. That's your circle. It's important. So last but not least, because I just don't think people think they can pick their team. I mean, some people might randomly join you, duh, but you don't have to like offer that girl that bullied you in high school a join kit just because she wants it. You guys, I'm serious. Like, you don't have to. That's your circle. Protect it. We already talked about that. And just last but not least, like I said before, this isn't for you. Sponsoring isn't for you. So make sure you check your ego. And I know that sounds harsh to a lot of you, because a lot of you are trying to build your ego up. But once you start leading a team, it can grow your ego. So you have to remember to shrink that ego all the time. And remember, this isn't a popularity contest. This isn't for you. This isn't, you know, to make you feel better about yourself. This isn't to just improve your life. Of course it will if you're a good leader, but it's not for that. And just remember that whatever controls this thing that we're in, this universe, that will be weeded out. So make sure you keep your intentions pure. And just remember that you're here to grow amazing, strong leaders, or you're here to grow people that are just happier, content, more comfortable human beings. We're here to help people whichever way they want to go, but we're not here to just help ourselves. It's not about us. And I know that doesn't have to be taught a lot, but I think a lot of the times we just need to hear that, because I mean, we're always thinking about where we're going next and what we want and what promotion do we want next, or what milestone do we want next, excuse me. And I mean, our egos are our egos. They're there, but sometimes we have to remind ourselves, okay, this isn't about me. This isn't about like, you know, what this does for me. I need to remember that I'm doing this because if I don't share this opportunity that changed my life so much, if I don't share this with other people and I don't give this opportunity away to as many people as I possibly can, then there is no need for this. There's no need to do this at all. There isn't. I don't think there is a reason to do this if you don't think that it's your job to be able to give people the opportunity that this did for you. That's why I do this, is because I get to see moms that are going to, you know, have bigger savings accounts or retire earlier or go on vacations that they could never afford. Like, my family couldn't afford vacations. Like, it's cool to be able to see that, you guys. It's so cool. And if we're not doing this to be able to improve other people's lives, then we're not doing this for the right reasons. So just remember why you started this, and remember that you can give that to anybody. And what this has done for you, you can give that to anybody. And I know that it breaks your heart when somebody doesn't want that, but when you give it to somebody who actually wants it and takes it and runs with it, it's the best feeling in the world. And all of those people behind them that might have thrown away the opportunity don't even matter anymore, because that gym came along and took this opportunity that you gave them and changed their whole life. And that's why we do this. And it's the best feeling in the world. And as long as we can continue to remember that that's why we do this and have fun doing it, I think that we could really, really be successful and continue to be successful at this, especially at recruiting. So just remember, you guys, recruiting is a huge part of this business, but it doesn't have to be scary. If you think of recruiting as genuinely giving someone a life-changing opportunity, it's not so scary anymore. So just think about it like that. Remember why you do this. Remember why you want to ask somebody to do this with you, okay? I love you guys, and you guys have one more week left. Let's continue to rock this out. Hustling to Director, I am so proud of you all who are left, and I will read through the comments and answer questions, okay? All right, guys, love you. Bye.